Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, was known for his charismatic stage presence and unforgettable voice. Yet behind the glitz and glamour, a lesser-known story unfolds, a tale of frustration, anger, and love. It begins with a shocking act that says more about the pressure of stardom than any song could express. It was a day like any other at Graceland, Elvis's iconic home. He was not happy. The reason? A fellow singer, Gullit, was performing the national anthem on TV, and Elvis could sense the lack of heart behind the notes. To Elvis, singing wasn't just about hitting the right notes, it was about feeling, about connecting with the audience. Gullit, however, was more about technique than emotion. What followed was an outburst that shocked those close to him. Elvis, known for his calm demeanor, took up his favorite Derringer .45 pistol and shot the television. To those who knew him, it was a moment born out of frustration, not a dislike for Gullit's singing, but a deep-seated anger over compromising the integrity of something sacred to him, the American anthem. Elvis's reaction might seem extreme, but to understand it, one must grasp the importance he placed on authenticity. For him, music wasn't just entertainment, it was a reflection of the soul. When Gullit fumbled the words, it wasn't just a mistake, it was a betrayal of the spirit that Elvis believed the anthem should embody. The aftermath was chaotic. Panic set in as the television lay in shambles. Yet Elvis acted quickly, replacing the TV within an hour. It was an impulsive act, one that could have had graver consequences, especially considering the era's concerns about radioactivity from TVs. Elvis's friends and family recounted this incident with a mix of disbelief and understanding. George Klein simply said it was goofy, but there was more to it. Lisa Marie Presley, Elvis's daughter, recalled her father's explanation. It wasn't about disliking Gullit's voice, but about the heart behind the performance. This wasn't an isolated event. Another incident, even more damaging, occurred at the Las Vegas Hilton. This time, the bullet missed its mark but caused significant damage to the hotel and, embarrassingly, hit where Elvis's girlfriend Linda was relaxing in the bathroom. The incident was a manifestation of Elvis's growing temper, fueled by his struggles with prescription drugs and the pressures of fame. Linda, who was deeply in love with Elvis, felt the weight of these moments. She was the rock that held his tumultuous life together for a while, but even she couldn't ignore the signs of his deteriorating health and well-being. Dr. George Nishapoulos, known as Dr. Nick, admitted to being overwhelmed by the prescription drug situation, attributing Elvis's reliance on these medications to the lack of proper treatment options at the time. Linda's decision to leave Elvis was heartbreaking but understandable. She saw the toll his addiction was taking on him and felt powerless to stop it. "I loved him too much to watch him destruct like that," she said. Her departure was not just about the drugs, it was also about the exhaustion of constantly caring for someone whose health was spiraling out of control. Despite their breakup, Elvis's life with Linda was marked by moments of genuine care and concern. It was a relationship built on love, but also on the realities of supporting someone with serious personal struggles. As Linda looked back, she recognized the complexities of their time together, love intertwined with the harshness of addiction and the pressures of being the partner of a global icon. Elvis's story is more than just a tale of musical genius. It's a human story of passion, frustration, and the struggle to maintain one's integrity in the face of overwhelming fame and personal demons. His relationship with Linda was a part of that struggle, a brief but intense chapter in the life of a man who left an indelible mark on music and culture. Elvis Presley's relationship with his tour and how they came to include Memphis is a tale filled with interesting stories and lessons about show business, friendship, and the man himself. At the heart of it all was George Klein, who ran Elvis's tour. Klein initially objected to Elvis performing in Memphis, his hometown, for a simple reason: he worried they wouldn't fill the seats. He thought the local audience wouldn't buy enough tickets. But Elvis and his team, including Parker, had a different view. They believed in Elvis and his power to draw crowds. A week after this argument, Parker announced the shows in Memphis would go ahead, and they were a huge success. 5 shows sold out in just 8 hours. This success wasn't just about money, it was about Elvis connecting with his fans. To Elvis, performing wasn't just about filling seats, it was about making love to his audience. He sang with passion as if every person in the crowd was someone special to him. This feeling went beyond just the show, it was part of who he was. Sam Thompson, who knew Elvis well, shared how Elvis would take care to ensure every fan felt seen and appreciated. Even when exhausted from performing, Elvis would step backstage, blind almost from the bright lights and sweat, but he'd always take the time to make sure he knew where everyone was on stage. If there were stairs, someone would guide him. This wasn't just about getting back to the limo, it was about making sure every part of the show went smoothly and every fan felt valued. Larry Geller, another close friend, remembered Elvis lying down after shows with cold compresses on his eyes, weary but always checking in on how the show went. This was more than just taking care of himself, it was about understanding the connection he made with his audience. Elvis genuinely cared about his fans' experience, which was a cornerstone of his appeal. However, Elvis's life wasn't without its controversies and challenges. Some people believed that Elvis and his team, including the Colonel, were not entirely honest about ticket sales. They'd sometimes buy tickets themselves to guarantee sales, ensuring shows filled up. While this might seem shady, it was also a way to ensure his fans had a place to see him perform. Elvis wanted everyone to feel the magic of his shows, even if it meant bending the rules a bit. Elvis's love for performing wasn't just about the shows, it was deeply personal. At Graceland, his home, Priscilla and their daughter Lisa Marie lived, making it a family home. But it was also a place where relationships, both good and bad, unfolded. Ginger Alden, one of his later partners, was a case in point. Unlike some fleeting relationships, her time with Elvis was intense and watched closely by the mafia, who were interested in her due to her influence over him. Sam Thompson described Elvis's behavior during this time as volatile, especially when it came to Ginger. Their relationship was marked by passion but also frustration, leading to public outbursts and arguments. Elvis's temper was well known, and it often surfaced in unexpected places like at gas stations. One memorable incident happened when Elvis and Sam Thompson encountered two men beating another man at a gas station. Elvis, always ready to protect, took charge. He ordered the car to stop and, ready to use his pistol, stepped out to intervene. Thankfully, Thompson intervened, preventing any violence. Instead, Elvis calmed the situation, making the aggressors apologize and shake hands, showing that even in moments of anger, Elvis sought peace. Beyond these public incidents, Elvis enjoyed more controlled environments for his passion. Behind Graceland, he had a private target range where he could let loose, loving the thrill of shooting like a kid in a candy store. It was a place where he could be fully himself, free from the pressures of being a star. He even showed his appreciation to those who had helped him, like a police lieutenant who admired his collection of firearms. In a generous gesture, Elvis let the lieutenant keep a brand new Chevrolet pickup, highlighting his willingness to share his success with those who deserved it. Elvis's life and career were marked by these contrasting moments, his deep love for performing and connecting with people, juxtaposed with personal struggles and controversies. His ability to bring joy to thousands while grappling with his own demons makes his story both fascinating and complex. Despite the challenges, Elvis continued to perform, always seeking to make that connection, to make love to his audience, and to find happiness in the shared moments of music and magic. Elvis Presley's life was marked by more than just his incredible music. He surrounded himself with people who became like a protective family, especially his bodyguards. One of these was Sam Thompson, who stayed by Elvis's side through thick and thin. Elvis was very grateful to Sam, giving him gifts like cars and a house near his famous Graceland. As time went on, Elvis began to change his team. He let go of some longtime bodyguards like Sonny West and brought in new ones. Sonny West had a close relationship with Elvis, almost like a brother. He felt Elvis valued him not just as a bodyguard but as a friend. Elvis had a special bond with Colonel Tom Parker, his manager. Parker was more than just a manager, he was like a father figure to Elvis. However, this close relationship caused problems. When Elvis wanted to focus on his new girlfriend, Linda, Parker refused, saying he couldn't split his time. Elvis had to make a tough choice and ended the working relationship with Parker. Bodyguards like Sonny West had a crucial job protecting Elvis from both threats and well-meaning fans who could sometimes be too enthusiastic. Elvis was scared of his fans at times, especially the women who would try to get close to him, sometimes causing accidents. Bodyguards had to be strong and quick to protect him. Elvis loved his fans dearly, and this love was shown back to him in unique ways. He would throw scarves into the crowd, and the women would feel special, as if they were personally chosen. This tradition made fans feel close to him, even if it sometimes caused problems. The security around Elvis was serious business. Before big shows, Sonny West and Colonel Parker would meet with local police to ensure everything was safe. At big venues like Madison Square Garden, they had to step up security even more, especially when other famous musicians were around. But Elvis needed more than just protection. He wanted friends who could be there for him, people who accepted him for who he was. Sonny West, despite coming from a tough background, saw an opportunity to be part of something big when he met Elvis. He became one of Elvis's closest friends, ready to stand by him even through dangerous times. There was another friend, T.G. Shepherd, who came from a religious background but felt drawn to Elvis's special energy. Shepherd saw Elvis as someone with a deep connection to God, who believed his music could heal and inspire people. Elvis himself thought he was like a preacher, using his music to touch people's hearts. People often talked about Elvis in spiritual terms. This wasn't just for show, Elvis genuinely felt his music had a power beyond just entertainment. He believed he could make a difference, like someone spreading a message of hope and joy. Even after his passing, people felt a change, as if the bright energy he brought to the world was missing. Elvis's life was a mix of music, friendship, and a deep sense of purpose. He was more than just a singer, he was a force of nature who touched countless lives. His legacy lives on, not just in his songs but in the memories of those who knew him, and in the way he continues to inspire people around the world.